Good morning dear students. We are going to study chemistry for class 8. This is video number 4 for the third chapter, and today we are going to study about separation of mixtures. This is the most important part of the chapter. Before starting separation of mixtures, we should understand what is the purpose, what is the need for separating the mixtures. Why do we need to separate the constituents of a mixture? There are three basic reasons. The first one, to remove a harmful or undesirable component. In mixtures, you see so many harmful components are there. Like we are going to take here tap water. When we take tap water, there is oil, clay, bacteria, fungi. All these substances are present in that water. But we do not want to consume all these substances. We only want to take pure water. So we purify water. For the purification purpose, different methods we can follow. The traditional one is boiling. We can boil water and all the impurities will come down. They will settle down at the bottom. We can remove by filtration. Or the latest one is the one that machine, RO machines we can use for cleaning water. Okay. The next one, to obtain a useful substance. In this one we can say that petroleum is a oil that we get from the earth's surface. It is a natural resource that we get, and in that petroleum there are so many useful things like petrol, kerosene, diesel. All these things can be separated, can be taken out easily, and they can be used for the various purposes. So the second point is clear, to obtain a useful substance. Then to obtain the pure sample of a substance. We see all the metals are present in the earth's crust, but they are not present in their pure form. Like iron, the most used metal in the industries, it is also present in the earth's crust, but it is not in the pure form. So in order to obtain it in the pure form, we have to do what? We have to separate, or we have to take away the unwanted substances. Okay. In this way we see what are the three main reasons for the separation of mixtures. We'll see the points once again. To remove a harmful or undesirable component, to obtain a useful substance, to obtain the pure sample of a substance. Okay, now we'll study about the principle of separation. For that we should understand the constituent elements, they show their own properties in the mixture. That point we have already studied in mixtures, that the constituent elements, they retain their properties in the mixture. Retain means what properties individually they show, the same properties they will be showing in the mixture also. And this way only it forms the basis of the separation. Okay, let us see the first point. The difference in the properties form the basis of separation. That means if two or more things are mixed, they will have different properties, and that difference in their properties only forms the basis of separation. Okay. Then the choice of the method for separating the constituents of a mixture depends on the nature of the mixture and the properties of its constituent elements. Now there are so many methods, different methods for separation, like filtration, sublimation, evaporation, distillation. So many methods are there. Which one are we going to opt for the particular mixture depends upon the nature of the mixture. Nature of the mixture here means whether it is a solid-solid mixture, solid-liquid mixture, liquid-liquid mixture, or gas-gas mixture. The first point is this, what is the nature of the mixture, and the second one is the properties of its constituent elements, and what is the property of the elements present in it. Suppose if in a mixture there is a substance that sublimes. Sublimes means that shows the property of sublimation. So we will follow that method of sublimation. If there is a substance that evaporates quickly, so we will follow that evaporation method. So on the basis of these two things, what is the nature of the mixture and what is the properties of the constituent elements, we can adopt, or we can take the method that is suitable. Now we'll study the separation of solid-solid mixtures. For that you have already studied the main five methods are there. In that 4 you have already studied in class 7th. Okay, but we will have a quick recap of all the 5. The first one is hand picking, then winnowing, sieving, magnetic separation, and sublimation. Regarding first row, I told you have already studied, but let's recall once. The first one is hand picking. Hand picking means taking the unwanted substance out by using our hand. The best example is, in most of the cases, our mothers, they take out stones from rice. That is one example of hand picking. That rice and stone, they form a mixture, and the stones can be taken out with our hand. Second one is sieving. Sieving means by using a wire mesh, we can stop few solid substances from on the sieve, and the others, the one which have smaller size, they will pass through. The example I tell you, at the construction site, when they take sand, along with that sand, small stone particles also come, and that stone particles, they can be stopped by using a sieve. That sand we will allow to pass through the sieve. The sand will pass because the grain particles are very small, but the stone, they are big in size, and they will be stopped by the sieve. Then the third one is winnowing. Winnowing means separation by using wind. The example here is wheat and chaff. You know, wheat, the cover of that is called chaff, and in that case we will drop wheat from a height. When we do that and the wind is blowing at the same time simultaneously, that chaff will be taken to a different place, to a little far away place it will be taken, but rice will be dropping at the same point. So we can see rice comes at the bottom from where we are dropping that wheat and chaff, but chaff goes to a bit away, it moves. So we see wheat and chaff get separated in that way by winnowing. Then there is magnetic separation. In magnetic separation, we will use a magnet, and the magnetic material will be attracted from the mixture. The example that is known is taking scrap iron from a heap of waste materials. You know, whenever that dumping area is there, so many all the waste things are dumped together, and in that, if we want to take the iron or the iron materials out, we will be taking a strong electromagnet. Okay, and that electromagnet is going to attract the iron material, but other things will not be taken. So in that way, scrap iron can be taken from the heap of waste. Okay, and the topic that we are going to study in detail today is sublimation. This is also one of the methods for the separation of solid mixtures. Sublimation you have already studied. What is it? Sublimation is the conversion of a solid directly into the gaseous state without passing to the liquid state. You know, some special solids are there that show this property. Then what is the principle of separation? Principle of separation means when are we going to use this method? We cannot use sublimation in all the cases, only in specific case. And what is that? The point is only when there is a substance that sublimes in the mixture, then we can use sublimation. Okay. The sublimation process is used to separate a mixture containing a constituent that sublimes. So there should be at least one substance in that mixture that sublimes. In that case, we can follow sublimation. Then what is the technique of sublimation? We will take that mixture containing a substance that sublimes. We will heat it. On heating, you know what will happen. The substance that sublimes, it will form vapors easily. That vapors we will collect and we will cool them. On cooling them, we will get that sublimating substance, we can get it, and all other things will be left in that dish. Alright, so the mixture will be separated from its sublimating material that will come out. All other things will remain in that dish itself. Then what are the examples of the substances that show sublimation? We have got dry ice, naphthalene, anthracene, camphor, benzoic acid. Let us see all the examples. Ammonium chloride, iodine, camphor, dry ice, naphthalene, anthracene and benzoic acid. Now we'll study about the methods of separation of solid liquid mixtures, and the methods that we are going to study now are specifically for insoluble solids. Insoluble solid means that solid should not dissolve in that liquid. Okay, the first one is sedimentation and decantation. Now what does that mean, sedimentation and decantation? Sedimentation is the process of settling down of the insoluble heavy solid particles at the bottom. Okay, that process is called sedimentation. It is the process of settling down insoluble heavy particles of the solid at the bottom of the container. Okay, in this diagram we can understand. In this one you see there is a solid liquid mixture. We can say, take the example of muddy water. Mud is there, mud particles are scattered in water, and after some times when it is kept undisturbed, then the mud particles will settle down at the bottom and they will form a layer of sediment at the bottom. Sediment means that insoluble heavy particles, they will form a layer at the bottom, and that is called sediment. And the clear liquid above is known as supernatant liquid. Okay, the insoluble heavy particle is called sediment, and the liquid above, the clear liquid, is called supernatant liquid. Now what is the principle of separation? In a solid liquid mixture, the insoluble solid particles settle down at the bottom of the container due to gravity. What happens here? The solid particles, they are heavy and insoluble. Because of that, if they are allowed to keep or left undisturbed for some time, then they will settle down at the bottom, and in that way only we can separate. That means the important point here is the particles, solute particles should be insoluble and heavy. In that case only they will settle down and we can take the liquid out. Then what is the technique of separation? The technique is very simple. We will take that mixture. Suppose if we are taking sand and water mixture, if we are taking, then we will let it to stay for some time. We will not disturb it. It will be kept undisturbed. Then after some times we see the sand particles, they will settle down at the bottom. Okay. Then we can take the clear liquid out. That clear liquid we can pour in another beaker. And that process is called decantation. Decantation means taking out the supernatant liquid without disturbing the sediment. You know, the sediment, the solid particle is there at the bottom. We will not disturb. We will take this beaker and slowly we will pour the clear liquid out. And this process only is called decantation. And you see, in that way we can separate the solid liquid mixture. The examples are sand in water and mud in water. Now we'll study about filtration. It is the method of separation of solid liquid mixture, and it should be followed when the solid is insoluble and light. Just now what we studied, sedimentation and decantation, is also for insoluble solids, but they are heavy. Insoluble and heavy if they are the solid particles, then we will follow sedimentation and decantation. If the solid particles are insoluble and light, then we will follow filtration. Let us see the principle. This process is used for separating the constituents of a heterogeneous mixture in which the solid particles are light and insoluble. So we know when they are insoluble, they will be forming a heterogeneous mixture only, and the main point is they should be insoluble and light. Then what is the technique of separation? Very simple it is. We will take that mixture and we will pass it through a filter paper. And that the filter paper we will take such that it will allow the liquid to pass through, but it won't allow the solid particle to pass. That means the solid particles will remain on the filter paper. Okay, and that solid particles remaining on the filter paper, they are called a residue, and the liquid that passes through is called filtrate. The liquid will pass through, solid will remain, and in that way we can separate the solid liquid mixture. What are the examples here? Chalk powder and water. We know chalk powder, it is light, it won't settle down. Even if we try for that, it won't completely. Then clay and water, sawdust and water, tea and tea leaves. This example, this we see in our daily lives. Our mother using a sieve, she strains the tea, and in that tea leaves remain on the surface, but the tea, the liquid, the filtrate, it passes through. So that's all for today's video. You can, as for homework, you can read the topics that we studied today. Thank you.